Hey guys, Chicago injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, myinjuryguy.com. Um, and I'm shooting you another video. The topic of the video today is what kind of lawyer or law firm am I really hiring? Okay, so the reason I'm shooting this video is I get a lot of calls from people who saw a TV ad um, or an internet ad. They hired a lawyer, but they never got to talk to a lawyer. So their case advances, they have questions, they never get to talk to an actual attorney, or if they do get to talk to an actual attorney, they just get the runaround on the telephone. It's hard to reach an attorney. If they do reach an attorney, they never get a straight answer. They get, they get the feeling that the answers they're getting are just generic answers. They're not real answers by an attorney who is actually working on their file, right? And this isn't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I'm getting a lot of calls from people who are currently or formerly represented and are telling me the same thing. So I thought I'd shoot a video to you guys explaining sort of what's happening in the legal industry. So venture capital and rich investors are now in the personal injury legal space. So 10 years ago, 20 years ago, it used to be that if you responded to a TV ad or an internet ad, it was an actual lawyer who had lawyers at his law firm or her law firm who actually knew how to go to court and try a case. Well, something has happened in the legal industry from my perspective. I've seen it because, in this business, if you're not agile, if you're not paying attention and making changes to your business based on circumstances, you're in trouble, right? What's happening is you've got a lot of young guys who come out of law school, and as you can imagine, unlike me, a lot of these guys come out of law school with rich families. And what they do is, instead of doing what I did and what thousands of other lawyers like I did, I got a job at a law firm, I learned the law, and I practiced law for 5, 6, 7 years before I even started focusing on business because it was an integrity issue for me. I didn't want to represent to people that I knew what to do on their case and I knew how to handle their cases until I really did, right? So what has happened now is a lot of young lawyers just come out of law school and they immediately just start marketing for cases. They just use their family money, use their trust funds, and set up these huge organizations that advertise for cases, even though that lawyer, using his trust fund, his family money, whatever it may be, they themselves don't really have any legal experience. And since then, it's just grown. So in Chicagoland, we've got at least 3 major, huge law firms advertising for cases in Illinois, but they don't really handle cases in Illinois. And the guys you see on the TV commercial aren't even licensed in Illinois. What they do is they come to Illinois or they come to whatever state you're in. They hire a local lawyer and they practice under that lawyer's license. And a lot of times what they do is they're hiring a brand new lawyer who can't find a job. In fact, I have a buddy who did that, who was looking for a job, got hired by a guy, and the guy practiced under his law license. Now, that wasn't a very good organization, and they ended up going out of business. But these mega, multi-million-dollar companies have enough money and enough know-how because they've done advertising in other states, and they just come to Illinois and run huge advertising. The problem is, their operation usually is not under the direct supervision of an attorney, or it's under the supervision of an attorney in a general way, but the lawyer, him or herself, that they're operating under never really looks at the files. Initially, what they do when they first come to a state is they send all the files to their home state. So if you've got a California lawyer or a Florida lawyer or wherever they're from who comes to Illinois, when they first set up shop and run all these ads, you're never talking to that lawyer in the commercial. And worse than that, they're sending all their cases back to, say, California, where their big office is, to process them. So you don't even have an office full of people who are familiar with Illinois law and all the, If you've watched any of my over 300 videos now, you know the details matter. And when these places first set up, they don't know the law. And then a lot of them, they sort the cases, they sign up everything, they sort the cases, and then they refer them out to other lawyers and they keep a percentage of the fee. So the guy you see in the TV commercial or the website you see, that guy probably has never tried a case, or maybe he's tried one or two cases, but he hasn't been to court in years, doesn't really know the law, doesn't really know how to handle a case. They just sign them up and send them out to other people. Now, that's fine if by luck you end up at a law firm. I know of some lawyers who take referrals from these sorts of organizations, and many of them are very good lawyers. You might get lucky and get referred to a really good lawyer, but you might get unlucky and they might send you to a law firm that's overloaded, doesn't have enough staff, doesn't train its staff, and they're just fire sailing cases. They're just settling cases as fast as they can for whatever they can get. So, when you're hiring a lawyer, in order to avoid getting caught in a trap like that, you're going to want to make sure it's a law firm where the owner of the firm is actually looking at the cases and working on the cases. Now, that's the way I do it. That's the way a lot of lawyers I know who do it. A lot of the local lawyers. There's some very, very excellent lawyers out there, but just on a human level, person to person, it's not unethical legally. It's not unethical for a lawyer to set up a big organization that just signs up cases and sends them out to other attorneys for handling. If it was unethical, lawyers would be barred from doing it. So it's not like a lawyer is going to lose his or her license for doing it. But on the human level, I don't think it's very ethical, because ultimately when you call a lawyer, you're looking for help. You're looking for somebody to talk to, a phone number you can call and get answers to your questions. And these big firms, these mills that just go state to state, spend millions of dollars on TV, millions of dollars on internet, billboards, buses, you name it, there's nobody for you to call. Chances are you're going to call and you're going to be talking to a woman in the Philippines whose job is just to talk to you to keep you happy, and just tell you everything's all right, even though they're not even in the United States, or they don't know the law. Or maybe you're talking to somebody, you're calling a local number, but your call is getting transferred to California, where the lady there isn't a lawyer, doesn't know how Illinois cases work, right? So those are things for you to find out. So if you click on somebody's website and it says that their main offices are in Florida, California, Texas, and they're here trying to get cases, you're probably not dealing with a firm in Illinois that's really in Illinois. So some people, I guess, don't mind an impersonal touch. If you want a personal touch, work with an attorney who definitely has attorneys in your state, and maybe avoid some of these giant advertisers who represent that they work on the cases, but then you just get caught up in this giant organization and then you're just a number. You're never going to actually talk to it. I talk to literally dozens of people every year who've had a case with another firm for a year or more, and they've never spoken to an attorney. And that's the way these big mills are set up to operate now. I think that's terrible. I think that, pardon me, it's warm out. I think that's terrible. If I was injured or a family member was injured, I would at least want, if I'm not getting answers to my questions, I would at least want the phone number to an attorney who I could call and say, okay, look, I get you're busy. I get that your staff helps you return phone calls. None of that's, that's to be expected. Lawyers are very busy. If you've watched some of my other videos, you know that. But when it comes to, in my firm, the buck stops with me. If we're slow getting a demand letter out, I don't throw my paralegal under the bus. I don't throw my other staff under the bus. I don't throw my pre-litigation staff under the bus. If something didn't happen right in litigation, the buck stops with me. I don't throw associate attorneys or co-counsels under the bus. And if I tell you something, that is the bottom line, and my word is my bond, right? And that's what you don't get at these other firms. So if you have a case and you're trying to decide who to hire, I know it's tempting to call the guy whose TV commercial you see 15 times a day, and they're on the bus and they're on the billboards and radio and they're all over the internet and their website's very impressive. But you might want to stop and think about hiring an attorney who will actually be handling your case, because I think long term you're going to be happier with an attorney who you can call and actually reach the boss, and the buck stops with him or her. Okay? So anyway, end of video. Hope that information helps you decide who to pick and what kind of law firm to hire if you or a loved one's been injured. If you have any questions or have a case for me, you can call me anytime, night or day, for free consultation, 312-500-4500. Stay tuned to the end of the video. I've got a bunch of free tools that people love. So stay tuned to listen to that message. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. If you or anyone you know has been hurt in an accident and needs a lawyer, or even just has questions, give me a call anytime, day or night, at 312-500-4500. You can call me anytime, day or night, and the consultation is free. That's 312-500-4500. Or if you're not ready to talk to a lawyer, I made 2 great tools that really help people out that you can use for free on my website. The links are in the description. The first one is called the Case Cash Calculator, and it tells you what your case might be worth. The other is called the Good Case Calculator, and it tells you whether you might have a good case or you might have a case with some challenges. The best part is that they're 100% free to use on my website, and it only takes you 20 seconds flat to answer 7 multiple choice questions right off the top of your head. And then you get custom information about your particular injury situation fast and for free. So check them out, links in the description. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to my channel. I release 2 new videos every week, and this way you'll get notice of them. And if you have a question you'd like answered in a video, just leave a comment with your question in the comments section. Finally, if you enjoy my videos or if I've helped you in any way, I hope you'll consider doing me a favor. Injury law is a very competitive field, and I like having a small independent firm so I can help people who need it. People really rely on Google reviews when deciding who to hire, so I hope you'll consider leaving me a 5-star review on Google. It only takes a few seconds, but it's a favor to me that I would really appreciate. The link is in the description. You just go to that link, click 5 stars, say a kind word, hit submit, and you're done. Once again, I hope you and your family are well, and if anyone you know needs an injury lawyer or has questions, please send them my way by calling 312-500-4500. Thanks again for watching. Take care.